But tonight we're actually going to be starting with the weekly topic. And the weekly topic is, like Ben said, what is the best finishing move of all time? Ramblers, I want you guys to sound off in the chat, and we're going to bounce around the panel here, and we're going to give our opinions as to why, as to what move we are picking and why we are picking it. And Mike, since you are the guest, I think the Christian thing I'd be to do would be to let you go first. So go ahead and have at it, big boy.
Okay, well, when you think about finishing moves, you think about what is it that sets this person or this move apart from anything else. And there's a reason why they call it the finishing move. You know that when that move is performed, you're done. And there are some that are bigger in stature than others, even to the point where other wrestlers have borrowed or taken the move from other wrestlers because imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I have several listed here on my notepad here. You can't talk about wrestling finishing moves without talking about one of the greatest of all time, Ric Flair. I think the figure 4 has to be up there in my top.
I don't want you to give me your top, Mikey. I want you to give me your number one. Once we get to the end, then we can discuss some other ones.
To be honest with you, my number one finishing move would have to be the stunner. Whether it be the stunner, the diamond the cutter, or the RKO, any version of that.
That's not a version of that. It's a cutter. That's a Stone Cold Stunner, man.
It's the same thing.
No.
I'm going to run out of soda in 5 minutes.
Him up. Put them side by side. It is the same basic move. Silence. Crickets. Okay, let's just go with Stone Cold Stunner. How about that?
Okay.
All right, we'll
as
go with
Stone
Cold
Stunner. As long as it's not the Kevin Owens Stunner, I'll let you have that one.
Oh, well, that's another story for another day.
That is another story for another day. John, do you agree with Mike? Is Stone Cold Stunner your number one pick for the best finisher of all time?
It's not my number one pick, but I think it's a fantastic finisher, and it's one of the ones, like Mike said, that people didn't pick out of when he hit the Thunder. But for me, my number one, I got to go with the greatest technical wrestler in my opinion of all time. He's the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Bret the Hitman Hart in the sharpshooter is my number one finishing move. When he latched that on you, almost nobody got out of it. Just look at what he did to Mr. Perfect in SummerSlam. I believe it was 91. And that's when it really kicked off for him. And I know there were variations. Of course, everybody, imitates moves and does it. But Bret Hart did it the best. And when he got that sharpshooter on you, 98% of the time it was over in time to the person.
Your audio is giving us a hard time there, but you're wrong. Sharpshooter's not the right answer.
But could I interject real quick? Now, what really got Stone Cold over was the fact that he passed out from the sharpshooter and almost broke out of it at least once. Really put Stone Cold over. So it has its merit, but number one, maybe not.
Tommy, I'm not even going to you yet. After last week, pal, you're going last. You know who you picked for the best woman valet of all time?
I'm almost afraid to ask.
Daphne. You remember her?
Vaguely.
Exactly.
That makes the point. Daphne,
exactly.
really?
Sonny, I'm going to pass it to you, hon. I'm going to let you go. Do you agree with either one of these cats, or do you have your own pick for best finisher of all time?
Actually, 1 and 2. 1 was the Stone Cold Stunner. 2 was the Sharpshooter. So
that ain't fair. You're
3,
from Canada. You're just being a mark.
A little bit, but this will make me more of a mark. If I had to think right now of a move that should be an ultimate finisher, but the way that wrestling is booked now, it doesn't really finish, is the Canadian Destroyer. Everybody's wanting to do it.
So you're saying Petey Williams' version of the Canadian Destroyer, right?
Most definitely.
Hey, did you like that, Sonny? I dropped an Impact name. Ain't you proud of me?
You did. That makes me proud. Team Canada.
I've been doing my homework here.
I
can't argue with you. When Ricky Morton did that move a couple years ago, wow. Which I know most of that move is, the person taking it, but still, it's an impressive looking move. I can't tell you you're wrong. That didn't make my short list. It should have, because it was a phenomenal move. But like you said, everybody and their brother does it now. Who is it in NXT that does it from the top rope? Adam Cole is Adam Cole that does that?
Yeah.
That's freaking insane. And I remember I think it was Tommaso Ciampa kicked out of that. I got so mad. This dude
Right?
just drove
It
your
should be a
head
finisher.
halfway through the mat. It's over. That's it. All right, Tommy. Do you want me to go now, or would you like to try to redeem yourself, sir?
Well, no, because you're going to dump on it anyway. What are you know?
You're right. Probably. So
Hey, no, probably too.
let's have it, Tommy. What is your favorite Daphne move of all time?
Well, of course, John, it's my own submission move. The crossface chicken wing. Yeah, think about it. Ricky Steamboat. That's how he beat Ric Flair one time for the title because of the crossface chicken wing.
You are blowing the airways up with all that dead air, Roscoe. But that's okay. I love
I'm
you
just
anyway.
waiting on you.
Well, I'm not going to shit on
knew
that
you
move.
going
I'm not going to do it, Tommy. I'm not going to do it. It's a great move, and that was one of the moves that I fell in love with as a kid, being a professional wrestling fan. I can't tell you how many times I'll be walking down the hallway at school and run up behind one of my buddies, like you've been a chicken wing. This is good stuff, man.
You know, I had a guy when I worked FanFest down in St. Pete come up and says, "Hey, you're Roscoe. You want wrestlers, right?" I was like, "Yeah." And he said something about the crossface chicken wing, and I put it on. Of course, you know, I went kind of snug on the hammerlock part for him. So, yeah,
So that's actually your finish is the crossface chicken wing?
Yes.
It's appropriate.
It's appropriate.
When Bob Backlund got you in it, it was over with. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I got a quick story about the crossface chicken wing, actually, Tommy, for you. I met Bob Backlund in Atlantic City about 8 years ago, and we were in the Tropicana Casino and Hotel in there, and we were walking through, and he must be doing an autograph signing somewhere near. So people were kind of crowding around him or whatever it was. So I said to my wife, I said, I'm going to see if I can get a picture with him. I was always a big fan. So I went up to him and I said, "Hi, Mr. Backlund." I said, just want to say I'm a big fan. I even called him Mr. Backlund because, Bob deserves that respect. And I didn't want to get the crossface on me. So he said, "Of course, young man, come here. We'll get a picture." And I have that, so I'll find it for you. It might even be on my Facebook. And then he says, "Come here. Well, I'll do even better for you." And he legitimately put me in the crossface chicken wing. And he was probably 60 some odd years old at this point. And I felt that shit for about 3 weeks because he grabbed me and yanked me so hard. And in the picture that I have, my face is just like that. And I was literally the crossface hurts like hell.
Did you tap? That's what I want to know.
Oh, I tapped instantly. Get the fuck off me, Mr. Backlund. You're 30 at the time or whatever it was. I was done. Then if he would have had his hands looking at him all red afterwards, it would have made it even better, but I didn't get that part. But it's a great finisher, Tommy. I like it.
Well, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I can't shit on that, Tommy. I'm sorry.
I got you.
You got me. You got me on that one, you peckerhead. Pecker face.
Yeah.
Chicken's a pecker face, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you guys are still all wrong about the best finisher of all time. I'm going to get close up on me so everybody can see me, the Royal Ramble champion now. And I'm going to tell you guys the best finisher of all time back before the Young Bucks hoarded out. And that is the sweet chin music, the super kick. Back before everybody and their brother were doing it, and Shawn Michaels, I think he stole it from somebody. But anyway, when he started doing the sweet chin music and he hit that sweet chin music, you knew that was it. That was all. It was over. And I dare one of you guys to tell me I'm wrong. Dare you?
You're wrong.
How am I wrong?
You're wrong.
You better get kicked in the back of the head, Wangland, with some shoes, and I'm going to giggle.
She's a mean Filipino. She's about 100 pounds soaking wet, and she scares the crap out of me. So I'm never going to say anything bad to her. I've said it before.
Hey, she could be a professional wrestler like Riho if she's that little.
Yeah.
I actually think she's tinier than Riho.
Oh wow.
Change of topic there. Even though I know you were trying to put over your wife there, I appreciate what you were trying to do. Why is the Sweet Chin Music not a good pick? It's a great pick. Come on now.
I could even do Sweet Chin Music.
No, you do the Sweet Shin Music, Tommy.
Yeah.
It's a good finisher. Is it the best one? No, I don't think so. Because when he hits you, you didn't instantly always go out. It's one of the ones that got false finished a million times in his matches. And you could go back and watch all of his matches throughout the years. Usually it would take, unless it was, if it was a main eventer or somebody that had a pretty big name, it took them usually 2 or 3.
You're wrong. You're wrong. Take a drink of your stupid ass little drink over there and be wrong because you're wrong. Shawn Michaels, Sweet Chin Music. Listen. If he just hit it out of nowhere, just like hanging out, oh, Sweet Chin Music, maybe they might kick out. But if he's in the corner and he's warming up the band, ain't nobody kicking out of that shit.
So are you talking about a finishing move in and of itself or a finishing move done by a particular wrestler? If it's Shawn Michaels' Sweet Chin Music, we can make an argument. But if we're talking about the super kick in general, then perhaps we can have a little bit of discussion about that. Because not every Sweet Chin Music is equal.
It's not. That's why I specifically said Shawn Michaels' Sweet Chin Music.
Oh, I looked at you, so.
Yeah, I looked at you too.
What I was getting ready to say. I'm going to run out of soda here in a couple minutes. But the one thing you said, when he hit it, sometimes they kick out. If they kick out, it's not a finish, John.
Oh, shut up, Tommy. It is now. I mean,
ask Ric Flair.
Nobody kicked out of the figure four. What are you talking about?
When he retired, how many Sweet Chin Musics did it take to put him down?
About
2,
4 or 5.
Maybe 3. It's Ric Flair, man.
What about the Iron Man match at WrestleMania?
What he said.
Just to further my point, Bret,
he ain't touching that one.
The precious Bret Hart that you guys picked. Remember that time Shawn kicked him back in the wheelchair, and then remember that other time when he put his own sharpshooter on him and he tapped out and went crying to WCW. You remember that time? I remember that time.
Oh dear.
Did it finish him though that he lost the match because of it?
No, Goldberg's spear is the best finisher of all time. That's why it ended Bret Hart's career.
Then why did you pick Sweet Chin Music?
I'm kidding, Mikey. It was a joke.
Wasn't it actually a super kick from Goldberg at ended Bret Hart's career?
It was. I was trying to make it funny, Tommy. Quit trying to correct me. You just sit over there and look pretty and leave me alone. Kenny Dunn says he gets it. Kenny Dunn gets it 100%. He says you guys won't change John Covey Cole's mind because he's a Michaels mark. You're damn right I am.
Yep. Is that not apparent?
You're still my boy. It's all good.
You my boy too. Okay. You my boy too. Before we throw some others out, because I actually have some others that didn't quite make the final there that I'd like to throw out that you guys may think's better than the Sweet Chin Music. I don't know how anybody could think that, but it's possible, I guess. Big Cliff says
Bulldog is better.
Would you say Road Dogs is better?
Bulldog is better.
Oh,
a Bulldog.
I thought you said Road Dog. Yeah. I'm like, the pump handle slam? What? Anyway, Big Cliff, I'm going to try to get through this. He's over here writing books to us. He says, my favorite finisher is the first finisher I saw and went, holy shit, at that. And it was Bam Bam Bigelow's Greetings from Asbury Park. Incredible move, and it was always over after it. So that gets the nod for him. That's a good pick. I love Salisbury steak. Thank you. Oh, my gosh. Lyndon Childers says super kick. Lyndon?
Or super kick you.
No, this was earlier. This is before I started telling you guys how it was. I mean, yeah. And
I think he meant to super kick you. I think that's what he meant.
Well, he better not super kick me. I'll power drive. Big Cliff said Cole calls it the Panama Sunrise. Okay.
Hate that. Canadian Destroyer.
Yeah. Kenny Dunn says Jake the Snake's DDT.
Excellent choice.
Oh, yeah, and here's a move right here that never really got the credit that it was deserved. And honestly, I can't even remember the guy's name that used to do it. John, I know you and Martin are watching old WCW right now, so you guys may be seeing this guy. I can't remember what year it was. It was in between 95 and 99. I know that. But the guy called the move the roll of the dice. Do you guys remember that move?
Oh, yeah. I can't. Who was it that had roll the dice?
I can't remember. That was a badass little move.
I remember the name, though.
Big Vito?
No, I don't think it was Vito. If it was Vito, he wasn't Vito at the time.
Chuck Palumbo?
No.
Gosh, that's going to drive me crazy. If anybody's in the chat, who did the roll the dice?
Yeah, Chuck, help us out here. My buddy Chuck Webb's threw that out. Who is it, Chuck? I can't remember.
Vinny Vegas.
Vinny Vegas.
Vinny Vegas? That was Kevin
He did
Nash,
Snake Eyes.
That was his Snake Eyes version that he did in the early WCW when he was.
No, that's not who we're talking about. That's not who I'm talking about.
That was Snake Eyes.
Yeah, that was Snake Eyes. Damn, Tommy's all over it today. Tommy, you got to quit being one of them smart marks over here. Kenny Dunn says the Macho Man elbow drop. That was one of my almost was number one for me too, Kenny. It's a great move.
Yeah, that was one of my top ones.
Kenny Dunn also says the sharpshooter. Hey,
Kenny's a smart man.
I'm the best there is and was and never will be. Bret
What,
Hart.
what about we got to
Hart,
mention though? We got to make the Undertaker like the Tombstone Pal Driver.
We're
too.
going to get there in a second. Let's get through these comments,
right.
John. We're going to get there. The Tombstone's on one of my tops too, brother. Back to Bret Hart real quick. I got to say this, and then I'll leave him alone. Bret Hart's not even the best Hart wrestler that wrestled for the WWE. So Bret Hart can take that back to Calgary. Sorry, Sonny.
Hey, now.
Chuck Webb says the Lion Tamer, not the Walls of Jericho, the Lion Tamer. Yeah, that Lion Tamer was killer, man. When he used to turn them on their neck and Brother Martin's got us, Wangland. He says Reno. Reno's the one that did the roll of the dice. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Natural Born Thrillers when he was in that group, I believe, right?
Yeah, Chuck Webb's the one that said Vinny Vegas. That's not the move I was thinking of, Chuck. Sorry. He may have did a roll of the dice, but I've always thought about Reno. Who the hell was Reno? Was he anybody notable, or was he just a power plant guy?
He was an end of WCW type guy. They put him in the Natural Born Thrillers with Columbo and Stasiak and Mike Sanders and the other guy, Nick Rack.
Okay. I know I said I was done with Bret Hart, Sonny, but there's a comment here. This is not me. This is somebody else in the chat speaking facts. Our buddy Michael Mann says sharpshooter is a lot cooler when it's the Scorpion Deathlock. Less whiny.
That is just not okay. That's just not okay.
All right, John, I know you was chomping at the bit there. Tombstone, what else you got, bro? Throw some more out there.
Yeah, Tombstone's a great one. I got to say that when the Undertaker hit that, it was lights out for almost anybody, almost every single time. But you got to look modern day too. And I don't know if anybody in the chat has put it up yet, but Kenny Omega's one-winged angel is one hell of a finish.
Kenny Dunn actually just commented that, John. He says Kenny Omega's one-winged fairy.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect one right there. I mean, nobody I don't think has ever kicked out of the one-winged angel. So when he hit that sucker on you, it's lights out for you.
Oh, I got plenty to say about Mr. Omega, but I'm going to save that till later in the show.
All right.
Is this Hate Canada Day?
No, Sonny, we love Canada. We just hate Bret Hart.
Really?
Yeah.
And Omega?
Canada.
I love it.
Omega. I can't throw that out now. I gotta save it for my cons later on.
Y'all are
All right.
going after our national treasures here.
Hey, I was putting over Chris
Man.
Jericho.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Okay. Another one for me is not the Stone Cold Stunner, Mike Wills, but the RKO or the Diamond Cutter. I'll give you the RKO and Diamond Cutter, but
Feel the bang.
oh yeah.
What about the Sister Abigail?
Oh, Kimberly used to feel that bang all the time.
Oh, love
Sister Abigail, yeah, that's a great move.
Yeah.
Have you seen the?
Alexa's version?
Yes.
Yeah, man,
I like
that's
that
good.
too.
I don't know what she's calling it, but once again, I got some stuff to say about that horseradish after a while too. F5, and I love the name of the FU. I'm kind of sick of the attitude adjustment, but when he first came out with it called the FU, I thought that was brilliant.
And didn't he do another one called the STFU?
STFU, where he choked everybody out. Yep.
Another version
Yeah.
of the
Yep.
crossface.
Eric, what's the thing?
Sonny, hopefully I can redeem myself a little bit here. Sharpshooter's actually on my list.
As it should be.
Of course.
Exactly.
Armbar.
Armbar. Excuse me. And the last one actually two more I got to throw out. The rock bottom. That was a move. That was another one that I used to wear out back in the day on a trampoline. I used to bust my buddies with the rock bottom all the time. And there's been so many different variations of the power bomb. I wanted to say Kevin Nash's jackknife, and that is a great power bomb. Don't get me wrong, but I ended up going with the Razor's Edge as opposed to the jackknife because it was a little different, and it looked devastating. I thought it was a really great move back in the day.
One last one for me, John, I got to throw out because nobody ever gives this guy love for his wrestling, and it's Lex Luger's Human Torture Rack. I just saw him put it on Roadblock this last week on WCW. If he got you in the Torture Rack, he'll go over for you. Always love that finisher.
The only
You
move he could
lose
do.
more and more brownie points with me every week, John.
Hey, I knocked Lex Luger before, but I got to put him over for the Torture Rack.
Fair enough, fair enough. Lyndon Childers says the People's Elbow. That's one of the stupidest finishes ever. Come on, man. Kenny says
agree.
Kenny says the bonsai drop. Yeah, that was a good one.
What about the frog splash?
Frog splash, Eddie Guerrero. Yeah, D'Lo Brown. There's been a lot of great frog splashes. I think we could do an episode that who had the best frog splash. And I'm just going to put it out there. I'm just going to put it out there. If you guys didn't say Eddie Guerrero, you'd be wrong. Just saying.
Yep.
I would agree.
Styles Clash, says Ben Cliff.
Another good one.
Tommy, Sonny, Mike, John, you guys have any other ones you want to throw out before we keep it moving?
I have one more, and I'm not a fan of the wrestler, but Corbin, his End of Days. Can anybody think of one time that anybody ever kicked out of End of Days? I think it is a very unique finisher, and I don't believe anybody has kicked out of it yet.
Yeah, that's
It's a
good one.
great finisher.
I'm surprised you didn't say the Hogan leg drop.
Listen here, brother. Did you think that's where I was going because I got the bandana on today?
Yeah.
No way, dude. I think Hogan's pose is a lot better finisher than the leg drop. Ben says Swanton Bomb. Muscle Buster, says Lyndon. Ooh, here's a great
Ooh, that's a good one.
Here's a great one.
Yeah.
Kenny Dunn says Legion of Doom's Doomsday Device.
Yep.
Yes.
Jared,
Tag team wrestling.
Jared Souter said, someone say Sweet Chin Music? I did, Jared. I said Sweet Chin Music by Shawn Michaels, and they all acted like I was crazy.
Because you are.
That's beside the point, Tommy.
Since he just got here, should we all act like he just went crazy again? Or
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Hell with it.
John's crazy.
I'm crazy.
Moving on.
I'm crazy.
Would you say that the spear would be the most overused finishing move for everybody?
No, I really don't think so because Goldberg's finish never was the spear. Back in the day, we had Rhino doing the spear. That was his finish. And then you fast forward a couple years, which I know Rhino's been around this whole time, but I'm talking about relevant finishes. And then you had Edge doing the spear. And then some time
Roman?
passed, Roman's doing the spear. So I don't think it's overused. That's an overused move for me, and this is something that I always critique anytime I go to an indie show, If you do the same move, in the first match, if somebody does a move and then 3 or 4 matches later someone else does the same move, that's bullshit. You don't need to do that.
But now on one of those Broken Skull sessions, didn't doing the same move over and over really put somebody over? For example, Big Show he kept kicking out of the stunner 7 or 8 times, and Stone Cold really put him over by using the stunner so many times.
Right, but what I'm talking about is say me and you was having a match, right?
Sure.
And in the match, I hit you with, let's say, a tombstone pile driver.
Okay.
Okay. 3 or 4 matches later, Sonny's going to kick Tommy's ass.
Right.
Sonny hits Tommy with the tombstone pile driver. I done did that move earlier in the night. You just cheapened the move doing it again.
No, I agree with that.
Okay, that's what I was saying.
It's like the suicide dive.
What do they call it now? Tempe suicida or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a
I remember
suicide
that-
dive. Get out of here with all your fancy talk. Sound like Mike Tenay's in there or something.
Yeah, I know that one show I filmed. It was 8 matches and 6 of them had to dive.
That's ridiculous.
Oh.